Hello students, welcome back to business statistics class. So in previous class we had studied relationship between binomial distribution, Poisson distribution and normal distribution. So today we will summarize both the units that we have studied. The first unit, binomial distribution and Poisson distribution, and the second chapter is on normal distribution. So for binomial distributions we know there are two parameters n and p, and the PMF is ncx p raised to x into q raised to n minus x. Range of x is from 0 to n. Mean, that is expectation of x, is n into p. Variance is npq, where q is equal to 1 minus p. And coming to Poisson distribution, it has only one parameter, that is lambda. The PMF is e raised to minus lambda, lambda raised to x by x factorial. X takes the values from 0 to infinity. Mean is lambda, variance is lambda, and standard deviation is square root of lambda. So coming to normal distribution, it has again two parameters. One is mean mu, and another parameter is sigma, that is standard deviation, or you can take sigma square, that is variance. When you're writing the definition, make sure you mention, if you're writing variance, then it is sigma square. If you're writing standard deviation, then it is sigma. And the PDF, that is probability density function, is 1 by sigma root 2 pi into e raised to minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu by sigma whole square. Here x takes the values from minus infinity to infinity, and mean is mu, variance is sigma square. So this is a small table which represents the parameters PDF or PMF, range, mean, variance. So now I hope the concepts are clear from both the units. So we will quickly see the question papers. I just have 3 year question papers with me right now. So we will see questions from both the units. So the first question is, write any two properties of binomial distribution. So this is for 2 marks. So you can write any 4 or at least more than 2 properties of binomial distribution we have discussed. You can write p equal to 1 by 2 when it is symmetric or it is said as non-skewed, and when it is positively skewed or negatively skewed you can write mean and variance. So I have explained in the class, so it is a straightforward question, you can solve it. The next question is again from first unit, that is based on binomial distribution. So they have asked to calculate mean of a binomial distribution for the following, that is when n is equal to 6 and q is 2 by 3. So mean of binomial distribution is n into p. Here they have given q instead of p, so don't take this as p. We know p is equal to 1 minus q. In place of q substitute 1 minus 2 by 3. So your p will be 1 by 3 or 0.33. Now multiply with n, you will get the answer of mean. So a simple question again. And the third question is from Poisson distribution. The standard deviation of Poisson distribution is 9, then find its mean. So they have given standard deviation. So standard deviation of a Poisson distribution is square root of lambda, and they have asked to find out mean, that is lambda. So to get lambda, what you have to do, you have to square the standard deviation. So it is square of 9, that is 81 is the answer. So mean or variance for this is 81. So I think I have solved this in your class. So 3 questions from first unit. Then okay, one question is from standard normal variate in 2 marks. So they have asked to define standard normal variate. So you can write the definition and you can write the PDF. So a normal variate with mean 0 and standard deviation 1 is called a standard normal variate, and its PDF is f of z equal to 1 by root 2 pi e raised to minus z square by 2, and z takes the values from minus infinity to infinity. So even this is there in your notes. And then they have asked, find the area to the right of z equal to 1.25. So what they have asked, they have given z value to be 1.25. So it is a positive value, it will be here. And the right side, sorry, I'll draw this once again. So this is a normal curve. You have to find out area from 1.25 to the right side. So this is your left side, this is your right side. So here is 1.25. So to the right of 1.25 is area from 1.25 to infinity. So I hope by now you guys know how to find out the area. If they had given find the area to the right of z equal to minus 1.25, then draw the normal curve. Minus 1.25 will be here. So this whole area is the area that is right of minus 1.25. So understand the question, draw the graph, and the tables will be given. Using that you can find out the area easily. So in 2019 you have from first two chapters 3, 4 and 5 questions. So 10 marks from first two chapters in 2 mark section or section A. So coming to section B, the question is, in a college 60% of students are boys. In a random sample of 5 students, find the probability that 3 are boys and all 5 are boys. So they have not mentioned whether it is a binomial distribution or normal distribution or Poisson distribution, but from the question it is very clear it is a binomial distribution. Why? Because here n is small and the outcomes is either in a college there will be boys or a girl. So the chance, the outcome is either success or failure, or it has only 2 outcomes and it is a discrete distribution. So you have to take binomial distribution in this case, and also there are 2 parameters given, one is n and one is p. So this is a binomial distribution and I have solved problems similar to this. So p is 60% or 60 by 100, it is 0.6, n is 5, and in first case take x as 3, and in the next case you have to take x as 5 and solve, substitute in the PMF and get the answers. So the first question is from binomial. The next question is, the number of mistakes made by a typist follows a Poisson distribution with mean 3. Find the probability that he makes no mistakes and at least one mistake. So clearly mentioned it is a Poisson distribution with mean 3. So lambda is 3, and you have to find out when x equal to 0 and x is greater than or equal to 1. So we have solved plenty of problems on Poisson distribution. So you guys try to solve this. So from section B you have 2 questions from the first unit. So you have got 10 marks. Coming to section C, the first question is again of binomial distribution. Here they have given a coin is tossed 8 times. You have to find a probability of getting all heads, 5 heads or 7 or more heads. Again it will come under binomial because it has 2 outcomes, either success or failure. In tossing a coin we know p is 0.5, p and q both are 0.5. So 2 parameters again, n is 8, p is 0.5, and x follows binomial distribution, and here x is probability that when you toss a coin you get it as head. So x all heads means n is 8, n is 5, and here it is x is greater than or equal to 7. So solve this. We have solved such problems in the class. The next question from section C under 7th question is, in a certain factory turning out of optical lenses, there is a small chance of 1 by 500 lenses to be defective. The lenses are supplied in a packet of 20 each. Find the number of packets containing no defective, one defective in a lot of 20,000 packets. So this is a Poisson distribution. Because here P is very small and N is sufficiently large, so here lambda will be N into P. So we had studied in the previous class when a binomial distribution tends to a Poisson distribution. Here you can see there are two parameters, but since P is very small, it takes a Poisson distribution, and here capital N is 20,000. So even a similar problem is solved in your class. Refer that and try to solve this problem. The next question from section C is 10th question from the second unit. So the question for 5 marks is write any 5 properties of normal curve. So we had seen around 7 to 9 properties. So you can write any 5 properties of normal curve. So you can state it is a bell-shaped curve. Area under a normal curve is 1. You can write mean, variance, quartiles. So you have the notes. So refer and solve it. The next sub question for 10 marks is average weight of 1000 students in a college is 55 kgs with standard deviation of 10 kgs. Using normal distribution, estimate the number of students whose weight will be less than 45 kgs, between 45 kgs and 60 kgs. So here they have clearly mentioned you have to use normal distribution, and mean, average weight or mean, mu is given 55, sigma is 10. So you have to find out when x is less than 45 and x lies between 45 and 60 kgs. So we have solved again such problems. So it is a easy problem again. So from section C you have one question completely from second unit, that is from normal distribution, and one question completely from the first unit, where one question is from binomial and one is from Poisson. So you have got 30 marks out of 30 in section C and 10 marks from section B and 10 from section A. So you have got 50 marks by the first 2 units. So let us quickly see 2018 question paper. So from section E, the first question is write the PMF of binomial distribution. So I hope by now you know what is PMF of binomial distribution. The next question is N is given, P is given, and they have asked to find out variance of binomial distribution. So variance is NPQ, find out Q, it is 0.6, then multiply NP and Q. The third question is from Poisson distribution. In this case they have given mean, that is lambda is 9, and they have asked to find out standard deviation. So standard deviation is square root of variance. So variance is again 9 because mean and variance for Poisson distribution is the same. Therefore standard deviation is 3. So the next question is write any 2 examples of Poisson distribution. So even this I had explained in the first class of Poisson distribution, or you can write any examples. So number of mistakes, number of typing mistakes in a page, or number of accidents in a particular road on a particular day. So many examples. Writing 2 examples would be sufficient if they have not mentioned, and if they have stated just write examples of Poisson distribution, if you write 2 it is sufficient. So the next question is define standard normal variate, again the same question. And one more question, they have given the first and third quartiles of normal distribution as 20.5 and 42.5, and they have asked median. So median will be the mean of first and third quartiles. So we have solved a similar problem in the class, refer it. So again 6 questions from section A, so 12 marks. From section B again you have one question from binomial distribution. Here P is given, N is given, and they have asked certain probabilities to find out. And the second question is again from section B, is from Poisson distribution, we have solved such problems. And from section C, you have one question on normal distribution completely, where for 5 marks again it is properties of normal distribution, and a similar question like 2019, mean is given, standard deviation is given, and they have said it is normally distributed, and they have asked to find out how many students weight is between certain kgs. So we have solved sufficient problems on normal distribution. Yes, so you have one question from unit 2 in section C, 2 from section B, and 6 from section A. So I hope by now you got some idea on how important these two chapters is, and how simple it is, because many of the problems are repeated and they are of the same kind. If you remember the distributions and their properties, then it is very easy to score out in this particular semester. So in 2017, they have asked to define binomial distribution. So you have to write the PMF. Don't forget to write the range. The next question, they have given Poisson distribution parameter to be 2.75. They have asked variance and standard deviation. So whenever questions are given, make sure you write the formulas completely. So variance of Poisson distribution is lambda, given mean is lambda, therefore variance is 2.75. So everything must be mentioned. Don't directly write variance as 9. So the next question is, under what conditions binomial distribution tends to Poisson distribution? So we have studied this in yesterday's class itself. So there are two conditions. Three conditions. P should be very small, n should be sufficiently large, and lambda is n into p. And then they have given, write down the probability density function and mean variance of standard normal distribution. Mean is 0, variance is 1, PDF is f of z that we had discussed. It is nothing but the definition of normal distribution itself. Then they have given, on an average 3 deaths occur in a city in a day. Find the probability that on randomly selected day no deaths occur, and they have given e raised to minus 3 value. So obviously it is a Poisson distribution related to problem, and lambda is 3, and they have asked to find out the probability when x is equal to 0. So try to solve this. It is very simple. Answer is 0.0498 itself. Then they have asked mean and variance of Poisson distribution, both are lambda. So again, very simple question. And then from section B, one is from Poisson distribution and one is from binomial. So this is very simple. They have given P n. They have asked to find out when x is greater than or equal to 1 and x is equal to 4. And this problem I think we have solved in the class. They have given probability of x equal to 3 equal to probability of x equal to 4. So with this, find out the parameter, that is lambda. So once you get lambda, then mean is nothing but lambda and standard deviation is square root of lambda. A simple problem. Then in 5 marks you have properties of normal distribution from section C. So this question is 2% of electricity bulb. Okay, it is again binomial distribution, and this is from Poisson distribution. Here you can see they have given e raised to minus 0.4. So we will use this value in Poisson distribution itself. So this can also help you to identify which distribution to use sometimes. Then one question is from normal distribution. So mean is given, variance is given. Here remember they have not given sigma, they have given sigma square. So convert this to sigma first and then simplify. Don't take sigma as 144. So be careful with that. If you're taking sigma as 144, your entire problem will be wrong, because when you want to convert to z, what we will do, x minus mu divided by sigma, not sigma square, right? but in the question they have given sigma square. So sigma is 12 and then simplify for the answer. So be careful with the parameters given. Yes. So no questions from first and second unit in section D. So you will be having at least 5 to 6 problems from section A, then from section B 2 questions, and from section C at least 2 questions or 1 question from normal distribution for sure. So I have missed one question that I had seen in 2018, 2 marks. Yes, the question is, state the condition for applying binomial distribution. So I forgot to mention in your notes. So the conditions to apply binomial distribution is the number of observations, that is n, should be fixed, and each observation is independent, and each observation must represent only 2 outcomes, one of the 2 outcomes, that is either success or failure, and the probability of success should be the same for each outcome. So points are quite straightforward. So here suppose you say the probability of boys in a college is 0.6, then when you pick each student from a random sample, the probability of the success, that is probability of selecting a boy, should be same. So nowhere we have taken different p values for different x values, right? So, and whenever you choose a problem, there should be only 2 outcomes, either success or failure. Under that condition we apply binomial distribution, and each observation should be independent. There is no point of calculating probability under same situations or observations that are dependent, and number of observations should be fixed, they must not be varying, and it should be a discrete probability distribution. So these are the conditions under which you apply a binomial distribution. So with this we are completing the second unit and the first unit. So in the next class we will start with the third unit. So prepare well for your first internals. So the questions will be from first 2 units. So that's it for today's class. Thank you.